Hey everybody, welcome back to the Classical Sauce. Today I've got another 3 pieces of classical music that you absolutely have to know. The first piece I want to talk about today is Smetana's The Moldau. Written in the 1870s by the Czech composer, this is actually the second in a 6-piece movement that in English translates into My Hometown. Though they're almost always played together as a single piece, they were actually composed individually, and they were originally played as singular pieces onto themselves. The Moldau has an unmistakable, very strong nationalistic sentiment that runs throughout the entire piece, and Smetana stated that his hope was that the music itself would bring the image of a winding river into the listener's mind. There's this meandering intensity that runs throughout the entire piece, and you cannot mistake the natural feelings and moods that he was trying to bring to mind. The core musical theme here would eventually be used as the basis for the Israeli national anthem, and it's also been used in countless films over the past century. Trust me when I say if you don't know this, you have to check it out. I guarantee you'll dig it. The second piece I'm going to point you to this week is Johann Strauss's The Blue Danube. This is without question one of the most famous classical pieces in all of music history, as even by just mentioning its name, most people know the piece I'm talking about. Composed in 1866, it's been said that the opening premiere of this was not very well received, and Strauss himself said that day that he really wanted to rework the coda. Though many are unaware, there are actually words written for the Blue Danube that were penned by Joseph Weil, and as Strauss modified the piece over the years, the lyrics had to change as well. However, in modern times, the music is rarely performed with the accompanying poem. At its core, the Blue Danube is a brilliant waltz, and many people have adopted it as an unofficial national anthem for the country of Austria. The work has this bounce and this sway that shows everything there is to love about classical music, and the way that Strauss worked certain musical punctuations throughout the piece retains its impact more than 150 years later. Along with this, the Blue Danube may be the most heavily used classical piece within popular culture, as it's been placed in everything from cartoons to Stanley Kubrick's famous film 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it remains one of the most recognized pieces of music on the planet. You have to know this one. The last classical work I'm going to recommend this week is Sibelius's Finlandia. While the composer and the name of this piece may not be instantly recognizable, trust me when I say the second you hear the first 2 notes of this, you know the song. First played in 1899, this piece was actually written as a covert protest to the censorship being put forth by the ever-expanding Russian Empire at the time, and it's the last of Sibelius's pieces to interpret a part of Finnish history. Truth be told, in its early days, the title was a bit of an inside joke, as the title was changed during many early performances so that the Russian censors wouldn't pick up on the patriotic overtones. The title would vary from show to show, taking different pokes at the government, with the most famous being when it was billed as Happy Feelings at the Awakening of the Finnish Spring. The work itself is very dark and turbulent, clearly expressing the sentiments felt by Sibelius and his countrymen at the time, and it remains one of the most engaging and moving pieces of classical music ever, finding its way into countless films as it's perfect for intensifying any big moment. Go look this one up, you're gonna dig it, I guarantee. So there's a few more pieces of classical music you absolutely have to know. Songs like these never lose their impact, so make sure this week you get your classical on.